Today we're making Char Siu Bao, aka steamed barbecue pork buns. These delicious buns are stuffed with a sweet and savory barbecue pork in a fluffy bun. These are a staple of Chinese dim sum, and today we'll be making them from home. These not only taste delicious, freshly made, but freeze well too. If you're craving an easy but flavor-packed dish for Lunar New Year, then be sure to give this recipe a try. So, let's get cooking. In a bowl, measure out 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of fivespice, 3/4 teaspoon of garlic salt, and 1.5 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 1 tablespoon of shaoxing wine, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and mix with 1 tablespoon of water. Mix until dissolved. We're using 1 1/4 pounds of pork butt that we'll poke with a wooden pick to help the marinade really get into the meat. Give this meat a nice poking, then add our meat to the marinade, and carefully flip until fully covered. Let this marinate for at least 2 to 3 hours in the refrigerator. While we wait, we can make our dough. In a large bowl, add a half a cup of warm water, then 1 pack of active dry yeast, and whisk until mixed in. Then add 2 cups of flour, and 1 cup of cornstarch. Mix together until we form a dough. As needed, add additional water, like 2 tablespoons of water gradually, depending on how wet or dry your dough is. I had to add about 6 more tablespoons of water to get the dough just right, but it depends on where you're at. But it may depend on where you are. We'll knead this dough for about 10 minutes, or until we get that nice bread dough consistency. Be sure to use a machine as well if you'd like. Continue to knead the dough into a ball, and then cover with a wet paper towel. Let this sit at room temperature for about 2 hours to rise. Let's cook our barbecue pork. In an oven or air fryer set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll add our marinated pork butt. After about 15 minutes of cooking, we'll flip our pork butt. Then we'll cook this for another 10 to 12 minutes, until nicely caramelized. Remove the char siu from the air fryer. We'll now dice this up into small pieces, as this will be going into our buns later. Carefully cut this into small pieces. We'll also dice 1 shallot. In a pan set to medium-high heat, we'll add 1 tablespoon of oil. We'll also prep a 1/4 cup of water with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Add our shallots, and allow to sweat for about 2 minutes. Then add the diced up char siu to the pan. Add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, and mix together. Mix and then add our cornstarch slurry as well. This will thicken as we stir it all together, creating a nice saucy pork filling for our buns. Continue to stir and mix. Lastly, we'll drizzle a little bit of sesame oil on top and give it a final mix. Once this is all mixed together, we'll set this pork filling aside. We can now start to fill our buns with the char siu. With our now risen dough, we'll take about a golf ball sized portion and flatten and stretch into a disc shape. Then with a spoon, we'll scoop about 3 tablespoons of our filling, or enough so that our stuffed buns are full of meat. We'll take opposite sides of the dough and fold together, pinching to join, repeating for 4 sides until we create a sealed bao. We can repeat the rest of the process for the rest of the dough and the filling. This recipe makes about 6 baos, but lots of filling, so I recommend doubling the dough recipe. You can also make different sized baos depending on your preference. I decided to make a giant bao that has a ton of meat stuffed inside. You can make this ultimately to your size preference. Some people like massive baos. Okay, it's time to steam. In a steamer, we'll add our baos and allow to steam for about 10 to 15 minutes. We're really looking for our dough to fluff up and steam up. After done, we can remove and repeat. These smell delicious right now and look just like the steamed bao at dim sum carts. We can peel these open and enjoy the delicious filling from the fluffy bun. The pork is sweet and savory with lots of flavor. These are fantastic for Lunar New Year. If you make more than you can eat, then they also freeze very well and reheat in the microwave with a wet paper towel on top. If these are making you hungry, then be sure to like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time.